Now for the extrusion exercise, I'm going to revisit that angle with the web that you used in a previous video when you were practicing placing data points for wireframe and for surface operations. This will be a different way of completing this element. We'll use this figure again in a later video to take a look at another method of drawing this, and you can decide which one you think is the best. Now we need in total 5 extrusions to build this figure, but they're all fairly straightforward. So please draw along with me. The dimensions are off the side, but you also have them available to you in that PDF file called Design Cube Orientation Exercises. So let's get started. So I'm going to use the Smart Line tool again. I'm starting with the large angle. So I will start here. Let's change the compass. Let's change it to that. The thickness of the angle is 10. There's my thickness. I'll drop down. The vertical height is 62. I'm working in metric, I should mention here, which is easier to work with and quicker for our purposes. So there's my 62 vertical. I then have another 62 in this direction because that angle is symmetrical. There's my previous distance line. Click on that. I need to go up 10, so there's my 10 data point, come across. Rather than work out the dimension, I'll hit enter and find that point and go back to my starting point. And there's my angle. I'm going to change back to wireframe right now. And let's extrude that. So it doesn't matter where I extrude, extruding this direction. I'm only going to extrude as far as the first diagonal line, which is here. So my extrusion then will be 35 millimeters. So I type in 35, which takes me to there. So there's that first angle. Now I'm going to make the second smaller angle, and that will be this profile here. So again, back to Smart Line, and let's follow the same procedure. So we need to go 10 in that direction, come down 35, data point, come across 35, up 10, across, enter, find the point, close the shape. There we go. And let's extrude this one too. And I'll extrude in this direction for a change. And this one is 27 millimeters. Do a quick check with a shading. Looks very good. Back to wireframe. So next step, to join those two together. So we'll select this one and we're going to move it. And I'm going to pick on this bottom corner here, which will attach to that corner there. Now my profile is still on. I'm going to delete that. And I have a profile at the other end too. So let's try this and see what happens. Yes, there's my profile. So delete that. While I think about it, I'll go to my extrusion tool and turn off Keep Original. Now the next step is to add these 2 diagonal pieces here and here. Simplest way to do that is to go back to Smart Line. I will draw my profile from here to there and back to my starting point there. So there's my profile. Let's extrude that. And if I'm careful, I can select both at the same time and simply snap it to that point there. There's that one. Let's do exactly the same down below. Profile first, Smart Line, there, and there, there, and back to my starting point there, and extrude that one too. To there. So far so good. Double check. Excellent. And now we need that center web. Now this time I am going to select both directions. Just want to show you how this works. And I'm going to set a distance too. Now that web is 12 thick, so I'm going to change my distance to 6. And now I need a center line for the web. And there are many, many ways of doing this, but I'm going to do it this way. And there's no right or wrong way for this at all. So I have my Smart Line running. I'm starting here, F11, and then O key to put the compass there. Let's change the direction. Come across this way by 18. Put the O key there. Compass there, move inwards by 6, and there's my data point. So a data point there, and there's the start of my web at this bottom corner. Now I'm going to go straight across and enter and N to find that point there. Change the compass, go straight up. I'm going to go all the way up. So enter and N again to there. O key for the compass, come back down, 6. There's my data point. Now I can connect the dots, and there's my profile. Now, as I said, many ways of doing this. You don't have to do it this way. So now I need to extrude this. So back to the extrusion tool. Everything's set, both directions, and 6. So now I simply data point on my profile. And immediately I see my extrusion with 6 on either side of that profile. And the profile has disappeared, of course, because I've turned that off in the tool settings window. So let's do a quick check. Yeah, not too bad. You'll all see a few odd dots. What we're seeing, of course, is the lines of the various elements as they butt against each other. What we don't have here, of course, is a single solid element, and we often need to do that. And we'll look at that in a later video. In the meantime, please do this. It's great practice. The next video we'll take a look at a slight modification.